xem là cái thằng đó là người Đức hoặc là người Ireland. Phú béo hả? Bộ dậu của nó quá bẩn. Tao nghĩ là Viking. So that's a good question, everyone. Phúc Mập, where do I come from? To be honest with you, 9 months ago, didn't really care, never thought about it. Knew I could find out, but you know, I took my parents' word for it. Let's call my mom and see what she has to say about this matter.
Hello?
Mom, what's going on? Well, I just wanted to call and ask, you know, as your son, I'm always curious where your side of the family comes from and what I really am. What were you always told as a kid?
A few different heritages, but some German and some English.
Okay, German and English. Hey, Pops.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I just got a quick question. Hey, where does our family come from? What's our history?
The only thing, you know, that I've ever known was Ireland. That's period.
Irish, 100%. But who knows? But as most of you might have seen on social media, the wife and I have been expecting a baby, and of course half the baby is Vietnamese, but where does the other half come from? One day he might ask his dad, and I want to be able to provide him with the best answer possible. That's why I decided to do a DNA kit, or as they say in Vietnamese, ADN. I want to find out where my ancestors come from so I can honestly share with my son in the future where he comes from. Oh, that's right. We are having a son, if you didn't see the gender reveal video. 3! So as you can see here in my hand, I have a very popular way to find out your tổ tiên, or where you come from. And I reached out to the company, but they weren't interested in a collaboration, so I'm gonna block out the name. Just know that any of these companies are gonna provide you with similar information if you wanna try it yourself, but we are going to submit the ADN with them and see what they say. So on the card here it reads, "Welcome to a whole new world of personal discoveries. You probably know some of your family history, but what you can learn from your DNA can make a profound impact on how you see yourself. Thanks for choosing us to learn more about the story of you. And thank you for not collaborating with me so I don't have to share your company." Basically, đơn giản là I have to submit my DNA. Luckily, it's not through other means, but I have to oh, what's the popular phrase the kids are using these days?
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing.
That's it. I had to submit some saliva so they can get what? They can activate my kit and get back to me with where I come from. Let's get this process started.
Huck to it.
All right, sent it off. All we have to do now is wait. And while we're waiting, I'll give a little background on my wife and I. We started dating in 2016, and she is Vietnamese, born and raised in Vietnam. And if you know anything about the women there, most of them really care about the family, not just the family that they already have, but their future family as well. So early on in the dating, she asked me, "Do you plan on having kids?" I just gave out a blank, "Yeah, sure." And then she asked me how long before I wanted to have kids. And granted, we're still dating. So I threw out a number, I don't know, 5 years, nam. Not thinking anything of it. Well, it seems that she wrote that down in her book, and 5 years goes by. We're married at this time, but only been married just for a few years. And yeah, she said, "Well, it's been 5 years. Are you ready to get started?" I said, whoa. You must have misunderstood me, because I remember that conversation, but what I meant was 5 years after marriage, duh. Well, being that we started dating in 2016, got married in 2018, and 2023 happened to be our 5-year wedding anniversary, well, I ran out of excuses, so I had to provide her with what she was looking for. And, you know, when I thought about it, I realized in the beginning, I wanted to travel to every country in the world. The idea of traveling around was just so enticing to me before COVID. But, you know, during COVID, I had some time to really reflect and realize that I would rather have a family than continue to travel around, mainly because there are quite a few countries in the world that I have no interest in going to. And what's the point of going to every country in the world if you can't actually go to every country? So after like 13 countries, I realized, I'll get some more in down the road, but I'd rather settle down and start a family. As things played out, we did the deed, and I got to give her credit because she's put in 9 months of hard work to bring this baby into the world. And for me, it was about 2 minutes, but it was, a good 2 minutes of hard work. And now, well, the baby's here, and that's part of the video, is not only to reveal where I come from, but I also want to introduce my new baby with all of you. For those of you that have been with the channel since the beginning, you already know my wife doesn't appear on my channel. It's not because I don't let her, but she just has no interest in being famous. And we made the decision when I first started the channel and went viral April 2019 that it's better to just keep it my channel. I don't need to use her as a prop. I don't need to use her to gain views from the audience. And you know what? Well, now that my son's in the world, I feel the same way about him. Of course, I want to introduce him to all of you, and I'm sure he won't mind as a baby, but the problem is all these kids that become famous, you look at the Nickelodeon kids or the Disney kids, a lot of them don't turn out to be good people. Addicted to drugs, end up in jail, depression. There's a chance of these things happening anyways, but why would I subject my kid to thinking that he is famous, he is something super special just because he appears on a YouTube channel and gets a lot of views? Instead, I would like to protect him from that and keep him away from that as long as possible. If later in life he wants to go into showbiz and do something like YouTube, well, more power to him, but it's not my decision to do that to him when he's so young. So after this introduction, I just want to let y'all know he's probably not going to be making a lot of appearances on my channel, similar to my wife, because I want to keep my family separate from my business. I started this channel on my own, and yes, I collaborate with different people, but the idea is me and my journey through Vietnam, its culture, its food, and its language. And my followers that have been with me since the beginning, you already know this and understand this, and I appreciate you for sticking with me, and hopefully you can understand my reasoning behind this. Wow, to say that I'm blown away is an understatement. My whole life, I thought I was basically 100% Irish and 40% England. I used to make fun of my British friends, like all my coworkers. I would always crack jokes with them about where they come from, but it turns out I was making fun of myself. What I do like about this is not only does it give you the percentage of the countries, but you can go in your family tree and you can go deep in that. Luckily, both sides of my family have already done a lot of the hard work for me, and I can trace both families back to the 1400s. Insane, to the point where they came over to America to begin with. And what's even more fascinating is there's a little bit of German in me. Again, total shock to me. My mom mentioned a little bit, but I was like, yeah, okay, Mom, whatever, I'm Irish. But it turns out some of the ancestors on her side were German immigrants. And it is crazy to see a picture of like my 9th great grandmother on my mom's side. And what makes it even crazier is that my grandma, who is still alive, who many of you might have seen, trying Vietnamese food for the first time in her life at 84 years old. But when I talked to her about it, she didn't even know where her parents were born and how old they were exactly. So the website, it connected her birthplace with her parents having a baby at that time and being married at what time, and then their parents, and then it went on from there. So I'm just blown away, and even though he's not going to understand it now, I'm going to get the baby, I'm going to introduce him to all of you, and I'm going to let him know where he comes from. Did you know you're half Vietnamese? Yeah, I know, let me finish. And 40% of Dad's side is England, the UK. Can you believe it? Can you? I know. Do you like fish and chips? You're gonna have to eat some fish and chips now. Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing. But don't worry, 17% is Irish. So we can eat some Irish food too. This is baby Kai, probably one of the cutest babies in the world, but I'm biased. He's been a lot of fun, a lot of work so far, but that's what everybody warned me about, lack of sleep. More on the wife's part than mine, but you know what? He's a good baby. He likes to play and smile a lot. What do you think, Kai? You want to say hi to everybody? I definitely had to focus on my time management because a lot of time goes with him, and getting my YouTube and Patreon and everything else in order. Well, it's been interesting with this guy, but I wouldn't want to have it any other way. Love this little guy. Mwah. Happy to have you in the world, and I hope everybody wishes him a happy first month because that's really important in Vietnamese culture. I look forward to providing more value, more entertainment, and even better videos here in the future. If you have any video suggestions, let me know down in the comments. And regardless, I'm going to have new videos every weekend, so don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Until next time, hang God ply and chúc mừng năm mới.